Today, 41 NBC begins a new series called Middle Georgia Pride. We're visiting 10 cities in 10 weeks to spotlight some of the people and places that make Middle Georgia special. We're kicking it off today with a look at Middle Georgia's Emerald City, Dublin. From schools and businesses to street names, even the streets themselves, Dublin exudes the character of its namesake. So one might assume the Irish lineage runs thick. Well, not so much.
We just never had that many Irish people here.
Dublin got its name back in 1811 when the city's first postmaster, Jonathan Sawyer, who wasn't Irish, was asked to name the small but growing town. His wife, who wasn't from Ireland but had Irish ancestry, died during childbirth. So Sawyer thought it appropriate to bury her in a town named after her homeland of Dublin. It wasn't until years later when the local radio and newspaper had the idea to promote the town by its name that shamrocks and leprechauns started popping up and eventually manifested into what is now the world's longest running St. Patrick's Day celebration. 6 weeks of homage to green. But for the other 46 weeks of the year, the city of 1700 prides itself on its sense of community.
Dublin is a place, a family place, a patriotic place. We love our country, we love our people, and in times of trouble we always seem to come together and do what's right. We'll fight in between, you know, if we're part Irish, we're always scrapping.
It was in 1886 when the first railroad came into town and turned Dublin from a small cotton town to a viable small city.
There used to be a slogan here that Dublin, Georgia, the only town in Georgia that's Dublin, D-O-U-B-L-I-N, all the time.
But the city hasn't lost its charm. Taking a walk through downtown is like taking a walk back in time. From the church where Martin Luther King Jr. gave his first public speech to the Dublin Theater, visitors and residents alike can gain a new appreciation for the hidden historical gems that Dublin holds.
It's hard for me to put it into words, but it's a place, it's just a piece of America.
And another significant piece of Dublin's history, the town was home to the only black Confederate soldier who is buried in a national cemetery. Bill Yopp was an enlisted drummer in the Confederate Army. He's now buried at the Confederate Cemetery in Marietta.